So here we are, we've had the first 2 match days done and dusted to kick off Sorare 26 and my how to win money on Sorare strategy with the in-season cards going for hot streaks and leaderboards and all that good stuff. Just like Celtic, it's 2 from 2. We are all streaking to the very top of the division. Hitting the first 2 streaks is great and not so great all at once because, you know, the targets have been reduced, which makes it super easy, which means it's just really not that impressive. But the payout has been doubled, which has been absolutely fantastic to get those nice little easy wins in, to reinforce the gallery, to get a little bit of ROI back as well, and really set us up now for where the business end of the streaks are. From streak 3, 4 and 5, this is where the big cash can be caught, and with Celtic this weekend in the whole Scottish division and cup action, we've got, compared to normal, a bit of a premature opportunity to take note of how the strategy has started so far and how we might need to adjust, pivot or reinforce it to make sure we get the business done. In the video today, I'll kind of recap what we've been doing over the last couple of weeks, as well as the extra cards I've actually been buying over the last couple of weeks to kind of set us up for this period here. We do have some crafts up our sleeve to get locked and loaded with, and we might be diving back into the market again as well at any point in the video. If you do laugh, you learn, you like something or whatever, please do like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And if you are brand new to Sorare and you've not even opened up your account yet, there's a link in the description of this video that's going to get you $150, pounds, euros, whatever your currency is, of auction credit, of market credit to go out and reinforce your club. The amount of credit you get is directly linked to your first purchase on site, so make sure to read the T's and C's around that to make sure you get the most out of it. If you do get stuck, if you've got any questions, jump into the comment section as always and I'll come and help you out. And if you're after a proper tutorial for how to get up and running with Sorare, you'll find the new to Sorare Start Here playlist in the description of the video as well. But let's just get stuck straight into this one, because although at point of recording we're on the verge of game week 1, which is really the curtain raiser for Sorare 26, we've had Sorare 26 kicking off already with the return of the Belgian League, the Scottish League, the Austrian League, and, you know, all these other kind of bits and bobs, which is where we've been getting our teeth stuck into with the Celtic in-season strategy that we've been running with. And it started off for us in game week 100 of Sorare 25, I suppose. And as you'll see from the 3 teams I managed to just about build to put out there, we were quite fortunate that we hit the targets that were required. Now, the targets were reduced, like I mentioned in the intro, but the top team that I had was actually carrying a DNP Shin Yamada, who never even got off the bench and never even got a decisive in these teams as well, except for the goalkeeper, Kasper Schmeichel. But we had a nice captain choice. We had Alistair Johnson smashing a 100. And between the defence, it really lifted us all the way over the line to making sure we got it done. But in saying that, our second team, which Franz Kratzig and Kieran Tierney had one more game of in-season utility on those cards left, it actually hit the same target as well, or, you know, it would have reached it anyway, which is fine, which is all well and good. And then the reserve team back there kind of did what we expected it to. So in game week 1, you know, I wasn't totally happy with, you know, the selections that I'd made, or even just the way that the teams and the players had scored, but I was quite relieved that I got at least 1 or 2 of the combinations well enough where we could get the streak started. And I think this is a great example of, you know, to get the first and the second streak unlocked and hit on a regular basis doesn't really need massive scores, doesn't really need huge scoring players or a flood of decisive actions or anything like this. If you get your captain correct, if you can have one player bring in one of those bigger scores, you can carry a lot of mediocre scores alongside it. And that gave me, you know, a bit of hope and confidence that we're going to continue into the second week and keep the streak running. But for the count that we'll be running through this series, in the very first week we've picked up our first streak, which was $20. We've also picked up 773 essence, which is a lovely number, as well as 1000 XP to get us up and going as well, which is a lovely start, because the essence, although that's not quite a full card that we've picked up there, it's a nice amount for 2 teams to be clipping within the first week. On a little side note, the classic teams in this game week, particularly the Celtic ones, were a lot of fun to watch. We picked up a lot more essence across the board, and I've got a good feeling the All-Star SO7 stuff, whether it be for me with the rare stuff or with the limited teams that I put out that win cards to give away to the channel members, I'm going to have a lot of fun with SO7 All-Star this year, and the first game week, you know, really reinforced that for me, and I think I've had a lot of success and a lot of fun with it ever since. But after I came out that first game week, like I mentioned in the intro, I went back into the market and I was looking for some extra reinforcements just to make sure that I wouldn't be relying on a bit of luck or a 100 smash score to carry the team over the line. With these, doubled up and 5x multiplier, all the big stuff that's going on with the streaks, it is only available at the beginning of the season. So if you fall off the wagon, you're just going to be watching it drive away without you. So I went back into the market. I think last time when we did this video, I was closing in on the Anthony Ralston auction, but I then went and picked up a Lucas Fadinger, who is a player we're familiar with from the Austrian league, who's moved to Motherwell. He's kind of started with a good score and a bad score, so that's a bit of whatever. I also picked up an Anderson Talisca because midfield, as I mentioned in the last video for Celtic, is very restrictive. It only is Hatate and McGregor that can be relied upon week in, week out, and I picked up a card that I have been dying for. He did get cards last year, not many of them, when he returned from Saudi Arabia back to Turkey. Anderson Talisca, the streets won't forget. This is a real baller of the last 5 or 6 years, particularly if you've been a FIFA player over that time. He didn't start the first game of the season or even play against Feyenoord in the qualifier, but this midweek at point of recording, he is back in action off the bench with a goal, and that's a power midfielder card that I've got a feeling I'm going to really have to rely upon as the streak goes on. I also added in a Dimitar Mitov. Now, when I look at in-season goalkeepers, particularly in Scotland, so many of them are on a shaky nail. There's a good number 2. There's different things going on where there are a lot of headaches. You need to buy backups to make sure you're going to be safe. And for Mitov, for me, is the safest goalkeeper in the league outside of the 2 Glasgow teams. And even at that, I'm not sure Butland is really that safe in the grand scheme of things. And when I seen that he was on the market, this was the secondary market, £43, I thought this is going to make a massive difference, because adding him into any squad as the in-season keeper means I can get a classic outfielder for Celtic, and I've got millions of them to cover all the positions that we might need depending on the game week that we're looking at. So that was a much more effective buy for me than buying Dyson Maeda, than buying Negren, or buying Kasper Schmeichel. Now, I'll still look at those in-season cards, but right now, I've not got another 200 quid to throw at this. As you'll remember from the last video, with all the super rares that I sold, we'd spent just under 800 quid on this strategy. And finishing it off with Keelan Adams, and if you don't know about Keelan Adams, you can check out the content we've been speaking about it. It is now taken the spend to £891.17. There might be a little bit of market credit in some of the later transfers or purchases I can't really account for, I cannot remember, but let's just call it on list price what you can see here on screen. And the only problem I had with the Mitov strategy is that the first game week where I had him, it's Celtic versus Aberdeen, so I couldn't really put him into my Celtic strategy with a lot of confidence. We were still going to play the classic Schmeichel, etc, etc, and we again managed to absolutely smash the streak. 471 points is a score great enough to make sure we're going to have a lot of fun streaking all the way to the 4th spot potentially. We get Tierney with a decisive, AJ with no decisive off that 100 score the week before, not too far behind him. Adamida did better than our DNP Yamada, not by much. We got a goal from Hatate, a great goalkeeper performance from Schmeichel, and we absolutely cruised to pulling in the $40 on the streak. It also won another $31 from the leaderboard. So we're already up to $100 or $101, which is fantastic. And then we've brought in an additional 1,030 essence. We've also secured our fast pass into Division 1 for not the coming weekend, because it's a cup weekend like I mentioned, but the one thereafter. But the second team that we had here, the Punchers, we've got players from all across the league really, and none of them really turned up sadly. But it's one of those ones, I think it's a bit of, Celtic were playing Aberdeen, Hearts were away, Keelan Adams lost 3-1, bit of a tough score. And then in the bottom team, the reserves, we got Yamada off the bench. Forest, when I seen this score, I thought, oh, we maybe could have squeezed Forest into one of the other teams somehow, somewhere, with a classic Mitov there as well. Yang, DNP, and so that's 2 game weeks in a row we've had a full-on DNP striker, which is a real kick in the teeth, and I'm really nervous, and I hope it doesn't come to bite us on the bum when it comes to getting to streak number 3. Because although we've hit really impressive scores to hit the first streak, we then hit a very impressive score to cruise past the second streak. The score of 440 that we need here to get streak number 3 unlocked is certainly within the grasp of the scores and the player profiles that I've got, as we've already seen. We hit 470 last weekend in a 2-0 win. But there isn't much room for error. You do need the big scores. You do need to select your right captain, and everything needs to fall in place for you. And the one thereafter, 460, again, we've hit the right amount of points where I can be confident in the team that I've got, that I can get a combination to make sure that we hit this. But part of the dimension, part of the strategy of this that we all need to really look after is that any one of your teams can hit this. So the more teams you've got that are viable to be streaking, that can actually go the distance for it, the better, just in case something goes against you, a red card, an OG, a DNP, this type of thing. So it's nice that I've got this cup weekend coming up, because maybe the market chills out a little bit. Maybe the cup game for Celtic, we get some stuff revealed on striker options, maybe some new signings come in, a few different bits and pieces could happen. But if we're going to make it all the way to the very top one and hit 510 points, we are going to need all 5 players to bring the power, to bring the heat, to bring the streak. And this is where good forward planning comes in, because even as I look at the next game week that I'm going to have these guys up and running for, Aberdeen don't actually have a fixture, so the in-season meet-off, again, for the second opportunity in a row, isn't really going to be capitalised upon. Now, that might help me out later on when he is available, but for this week, we will probably need to do without him. It'll probably be a standard first team that I'll be lining out. But the second team, the Punchers team, has a bit of personality, has a little bit of a chance in it. With the return of Serie A, these guys are eligible to play in these competitions. So a goalkeeper like Big Magic Mike, you know, maybe Keelan Adams at home to Hibs isn't a great defensive pick, but, you know, I like the guy. Got an assist in the first game, and, you know, if he can just do okay, I think we'll be fine. With the likes of Forrest, maybe Captain Talisca, and Big Braga up front. And as you can see, when we get to the third team, the reserve squad, we're not even quite there ready to get a fourth team out. The quality, the options really go down a good bit. Yang and Yamada probably don't start. Maybe one of them could DNP again, because we've seen both of them do that already this year. And Adam Montgomery, the former Celtic player, is on loan at Livingston. He might not even be allowed to play the game, and if he does, it's not a great fixture anyway. Livingston are expected to concede a bunch. So I do still need to get a little bit of, let's just do this to finish the thing up, but we do need to get some extra reinforcements into the club. I will try and maybe hunt around the auctions and see what we can get done in that sense, but one of the primary methods, or the primary method for a lot of us to get new cards into the gallery, is by crafting, is by drawing cards from Essence. Now, the last time we did this, I actually had almost no Challenger Essence, and it didn't really work out too well for us in that regard. This time around, I've got a lot more Challenger Essence, and I'm hoping that can increase the probability, the odds of us pulling ideally a Celtic card or a power player within the region. Now, I hate the thought of doing this with rare essence blind. I want clues. I want an idea of what I'm going to be getting myself in for. So although I've got 3,000 essence here, I am only thinking about crafting 2 cards with you guys just now. With it, we'll see how it goes, but we might not do all the clues and stuff like that, but I don't want to craft a dud. I don't want to have a bit of that pain that I've seen from Harry Trades and a bunch of other people, where they randomly pick one and then there was a Carter Vickers in there, or there was, you know, a Dominic Fitz, or I don't want that in my life. I want to know what I'm picking, and I want to take advantage of it. So can we pull some reinforcements in and ahead of the return of Celtic in 2 weeks? Let's have a look. Let's do the first draw and see what we get. Now, this nationality one seems to be a wee bit glitchy, because I've got 1, you need 2 to use it at rare, and I don't have the opportunity or the option to, I was going to say spend essence on it, but we've just clicked it there. I'm not sure if that did take essence off us for that. Yeah, let's not touch that again. So we've got a Belgian player. So yeah, now the thing is I don't have, so this is used MLS and a bit of neutral. A Danish player, Austrian, Australia, Ukraine. The Belgian one's kind of tempting, because that could be like Engels. Remember we pulled Raskin last time? That was quite funny, wasn't it? The English player, I don't know what to think about that. Spanish. None of these nationalities particularly jump out to me as like an obvious. Denmark. Who could Denmark? No, maybe not. Burkina Faso, Spain, Denmark. This is actually kind of tough. Now, I don't know what's just happened here with this, if it's cost me essence or not. I think it did, because I can see the values that have changed here. Because I'm at real pains to think about who a Czech Republic player could be, an English player, like in the Scottish League, it could be absolutely anyone. I don't think there's anyone we would really particularly want. The Belgian thing's tempting because of Engels. It would just be a nice card to get, although he's not been up too much recently. And then the rest of the nationalities really don't do too much for me. So I think I'm going to go for the Austrian one, and we're just going to cross our fingers that it's Dominic Fitz. Oh my god! Yes! Oh, what a genius play that was. So the English player was Osaze Urigide. Jurasek, the keeper or the defender. Oh, that was incredible, by the way. 5-star pick. Dominic. Oh, Dominic the boy Fitz. This is the second Fitz card that I've won. The last time I won him, I used him for about a month or two and he was a boss, but I had to cash in on him because I can't remember the whole situation at the time, but I just felt, oh, this might not last too long. That was like 2 seasons ago. Oh, buzz, man. Here we go. Dominic Fitz. Oh, that's what I'm saying, guys. If I had not played a clue on that, I would have been raging to end up with an Urigide or a Jurasek or any of the other jabronis that were in that pool. Oh, absolutely top buzz. That is an absolute win that we've pulled there. So let's draw again. Let's see what we get this time. Special star guaranteed. We're definitely... Oh, so it costs a lot more for the League One. We don't have enough for that. We can only do nationality. Oh, right, okay, let's do it. Because I know it's this. The region is right anyway. So let's do it. Well, let us do it. Insufficient balance. Oh, this is going to do us dirty. We've only got 700. Oh, so it would be 1,000 as well. Oh, no. Oh, it's okay because we got that Fitz. I think that makes it 1 guaranteed star. Oh, my God. Oh, I wish we had a teeny bit more essence. Please just work. Oh, please just work. I'm gonna take like my 1 token and the remainder of my essence and we'll call it quits, man. Come on. Oh, jumping jimmies. Okay. What do we do here? Now, Nep loves the number 7 spot, and when I watched Harry Trades' pools, the Carter Vickers was in spot 7 as well. Oh, this is brutal. It feels a bit easier to stomach because we already have Fitz in the bag, but I just know this is going to be painful. And I think, see, in this circumstance, if you have not pulled any of the clues, it would be nice when you click on the card to get the nationality, the club or whatever tease opening sequence thing. I'm going to go for the spot 7 thing because I've just... Oh, fuck. Oh no! Nugren! See if I had nationality and seen Swedish. Oh my golly gosh. Ah. That was so close to being the most perfect thing ever. Now, this has just put a little bell off in my mind. Could I trade... This guy's just gonna... I don't like this guy already. I don't like this guy. I cannot lie. Can I trade my Fitz for a Negren? Dominic the boy Fitz, by the way. I cannot believe... Oh, I can't believe we went number 5 and we got Fitz and Negren. What a game-changing situation that would have put us into. What does Fitz go for? A pretty penny. But 300 quid, that's decent. And what does Negren go for right now? On instant buy, about the same. Auction, maybe a little bit less. Can we look at the card supply? Why is that? Oh, there's there. The scroll button was kind of playing around with us here. Now, guys, this is where the comment section comes in. This is where you guys come in. What should I do? There's actually none available from like someone selling it to trade it. So do I sell Fitz, take a bit of a skim, and then go buy that Negren? Let me know what you guys would do. That's the number 7 thing. I was never going to pick the number 5, but if we did the random, let's just close our eyes thing, we might have got lucky. I just, as soon as I seen Strumpf Graz, I knew we hadn't done it. But I'm buzzing to get the Fitz, even if we cannot get a Negren in. Fitz is so OP at the moment. But the reason I'm not too super hyped on Fitz, not that I'm not too super hyped on him. is really for the fixture correlation. And then with these Austrian players, you're always looking at early December, that death part that comes in where they go on a break for 2 months. And there's maybe a wee bit of a ticking time bomb on his value in that regard. And yeah, so I'm thinking, could I sell Negren right now, max the value out on him, because hype is at peak for him, and try and get Negren? Celtic don't play this weekend, and on auction, you know, his price has been coming down a little bit. Could we try and get one a little bit below the average of where that's at? And then we've got a nice little skim on top of, you know, the money we've already been winning. We won a Raskin, or we crafted Raskin the other week there, and I think that's where I mentioned earlier we've spent 891, but to be honest, that money, the extra money for Talisca and for Mitov, came from us selling Raskin. So I actually think I want to take that back, because we've still only spent the same amount really, because yeah, that was a win. So 790. Well, let's make an adjustment to that for the next video. Oh guys, I'm buzzed, I am hyped, I can't believe we made that work there. Could have been extra sweet, it could have been absolute dreamland. We had a little bit of the highs and the lows there. It's been all success on the pitch so far, and now we've got an in-season forward card, which I'm now thinking, by the way, could I play him with a team this week when Celtic aren't playing? No, I've just got absolutely, yeah, they're not in season, but are they? Yeah, we've not quite got enough going around, I think, to play in the absence of Celtic. This guy, Kayambo, who we just crafted, I hope he's a wonder kid or something, because he is a flat-out DNP merchant. So at 19 French, you know, you're hoping he's got some pedigree. Fitz has got a game. You know, it doesn't really matter with Fitz, does it? And Talisca's got a game as well. Probably doesn't matter too much with him. So, yeah, we won't be able to jump-start the sequence. We'll still need to wait till next week. But when we add Fitz into that build that we did a minute ago to kind of detail the depth that we have available to us, it is an absolute no-brainer to put Fitz in here, drop him as captain at home to Hartberg. Yeah, I'm not even sure I do want to trade that out. I do think Negren against Livingston will slaughter, though, to be honest with you. And then we've got a spare Adam Ida that we can put down the pecking order somehow, somewhere as well. But that top team now does stand above all else in such a clear way in every single position. And if we get some success, you know, Talisca, we've seen him in Europe come off the bench and get a result. They'll have another qualifier to play against Benfica. And by the time we come back to this game week that's on screen at the moment, he'll have also played domestically in this away match that we won't be able to use him for. And in-season competition, we'll probably play him in Classic or in Arena or something like that. But we'll have a better idea of if is Anderson Talisca going to be bringing this type of form. And then him, along with Fitz, and then that Celtic defence, going all the way to 5 streaks. I said at the top of the show, we are going for it. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section down below. Would you have picked Tile 5? Would you swap Fitz for Negren? How have you been doing with crafts? How you been doing with streaks? Because now, this weekend with Celtic off, for me on the channel, it's all eyes on our budget Road to Glory streak teams that we've built. If you've missed that, we had a Premier League and a La Liga one. Those videos will be on screen now at some point at the end of the video, because this is where we're at the moment. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section, of course. Like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care, bye-bye.